Hello and welcome everyone to this updation session on public administration, especially Indian administration, that is paper 2 of public administration for UPSC optional. Now that many of you are going to write mains this year, some of our old students, some of the existing students have been looking for some updation material, some new value addition points so that you can increase your marks by another 25 to 30 marks in every section or every unit of the syllabus. So here is the first demonstration session for updation or value addition for Indian administration paper 2. Likewise, I'll be completing a series of around 30 such sessions for those who have taken coaching from JV's IAS in public administration in 2018, 19 or 20 or 21. So recommendations of second ARC on local bodies, that is sixth report. Even though local bodies as a topic has always been important, but this year it is even more important. Why? Because we have completed almost 30 years of local bodies reforms. Almost 30 years of local bodies reforms have been completed. Like it is going to be 31st year now. Last year there weren't many significant questions from local bodies, and considering that, I have tried to cover in this session, maybe this session will last for another half an hour, I have tried to complete the various aspects of local bodies, local municipal finances. I have pulled out some points from economic survey related to local bodies, economic survey of 2018-19. There was a chapter 4, which talked about the fact that local bodies, even though they have the scope for finances, they have this unutilized scope for mobilizing the finances. But we always keep on crying about funds, functions and functionaries problem with regard to local bodies. कि local bodies के पास funds नहीं है, functions नहीं है, functionaries नहीं है. Remaining two F's aside, insofar as the funds is concerned, economic survey says that funds problem is there, but many of the local bodies haven't mobilized the funds potential, the revenue mobilization potential, which they could have done. So likewise, there are various other points. Even though 15th Finance Commission, due to paucity of time, due to COVID-19, 15th Finance Commission hasn't said much about local bodies per se. But 14th Finance Commission recommendations are a kind of very good kind of recommendations that are there, जिसको हम incorporate कर सकते हैं अपने पेपर में अगर कोई local bodies से related question आता है तो start करते हैं. Recommendations of sixth report of second ARC can be implemented for better and effective functioning of Panchayati Raj institution. The second ARC recommended that state government should encourage local bodies to outsource specific functions or to public or private agencies. For example, second ARC said, if you read the complete report, it said that why to create a local municipal PWD wing yourself. हर म्यूनिसिपैलिटी की कोशिश होती है कि अपना एक पब्लिक वर्क्स डिपार्टमेंट का विंग क्रिएट कर लें, अपना एक रोड रोलर खरीद लिया. ये सब में एसेट्स में पैसा ब्लॉक करती हैं लोकल बॉडीज. तो ऐसी सिचुएशन में स्टेट के पीडब्ल्यूडी डिपार्टमेंट को ही ये काम दिए जाएं, so as to save on resources and invest those resources in creation of assets which are of utility to the public, rather than buying assets which are not going to be utilized much, right? So state PWD department. इसी के साथ साथ मनरेगा के फंड्स को जोन वाइज, डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज पूल किया जाता है. सेकंड ARC सेड मनरेगा फंड्स are block wise, are given block wise. Okay, so that means that if there is a village, Manrega funds are given village wise and then block wise and then district wise. But if there is a village which wants to construct a rail over bridge, it cannot do so because मनरेगा फंड्स आर गिवन विलेज वाइज. तो अब एक विलेज और दूसरे विलेज को मिलके कोई जॉइंट कैनाल प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है या कोई रेल ओवर ब्रिज बनाना है ड्यू टू इंक्रीजिंग इंसिडेंट्स ऑफ vehicles crashing into trains because of unmanned railway crossings, etc., or due to traffic jam, etc., there is a need. But the local bodies, rural local bodies, मनरेगा के अंडर ये नहीं कर पाती. They could not do so because of the reason that funds are blocked village wise. Okay, if a village has been given a fund of, let's say, 20 lakh rupees for 1 year, it only can utilize this in its own jurisdiction. it cannot utilize in jurisdiction of village 2. So village 1 and village 2 were not able to collaborate. Now this limit has been done away with thanks to the recommendations of second ARC related to better utilization of Manrega funds. So point number 1, state PWD के साथ में municipal bodies, rural local bodies MOU sign कर सकती हैं. They can sign a memorandum of understanding, or they can even rope in private agencies, right? But this recommendation comes into clash with Manrega again, that work could not be outsourced. For example, if you get this question that what are the ways to better utilize the funds at the local bodies level, कैसे funds को better utilize करा जाए, so ये सारे impediments, ये सारी recommendations और impediments कितनी practicality है second ARC की recommendations में, वो हम एनालाइज कर सकते हैं. सेकंड एआरसी ने तो कह दिया कि प्राइवेट एजेंसीज को रोप इन करो, बट फंड्स अंडर द हेड्स लाइक मनरेगा, they do not allow the work to be outsourced. Okay, so we have to analyze the recommendations. Gone is the era now that they would be asking straightforward a question on recommendations of second ARC, first ARC और पंची कमीशन. कोई क्वेश्चन ऐसा सिंपल नहीं होता, एनालाइज करने को बोला जाता है, राइट? सो यू शुड बी नोइंग द पॉजिटिव्स एंड द नेगेटिव्स ऑफ अ गिवन स्टेटमेंट, राइट? दिस इज देयर. द स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिश्नर शुड बी अपॉइंटेड बाय द गवर्नर ऑन द रिकमेंडेशंस ऑफ अ कॉलेजियम. स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिश्नर. नाउ कमिंग टू इलेक्शन कमीशन, the same reform as has been brought about by the Honorable Supreme Court recently with regard to the appointment of election commissioner, with regard to the appointment of one of the members of the election commission, that is Arun Goyal, in the month of March 2023. In the month of March 2023, the similar kind of recommendation was given by the second ARC with regard to State Election Commission. State Election Commission should be appointed by a governor on the basis of recommendation of a collegium. So this collegium should be there, comprising of Chief Minister, the Speaker of State Legislative Assembly and the Leader of Opposition. But in EC's case, Central Election Commission reform case, it is CJI, right? So this was set by the second ARC. Then in case of urban local bodies, in addition to the functions listed in 12th schedule, you all know that 12th schedule carries a list of 18 items. Factual information is required for you to score well. ठीक है, 18 items जो 12th schedule में दे रखी हैं. Following in case of urban local bodies, in addition to functions listed in 12th schedule, the following should be devolved to the urban local bodies. That is school education, public health, including community health centers, like we are constructing now mohalla clinics. Public health and wellness centers we are talking about in this era. So public health and wellness centers we are talking about, right? Traffic management, even the local bodies like London may the mayor of the London, Boris Johnson, he went on to become the Prime Minister. So in London, the municipal commissioner decides upon the urban municipal commissioner decides upon the appointment of SHO and city traffic in charge, city traffic police in charge. Same should be the case in India. The former Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, said that there should be a third list. Remember, in the beginning, we were talking about 3F problem, funds, functions and functionaries. So Manmohan Singh said that there should be a fourth list. Basically, we already have union list, we have state list, we have concurrent list. There is a need for fourth list of subjects. So that fourth list of subject could be mandatory list of subjects, mandatory list of subjects to be given to be statutorily, to be constitutionally devolved to local bodies. So that list could be carved out around the subjects given in the 11th schedule, that is 29 subjects, 29 matters which are given to rural local bodies, and 18 subjects given under 12th schedule. तो एक ये recommendation हो सकती है value addition के लिए कि funds, functions and functionaries problem of how to resolve the funds, functions and functionaries problem of local bodies even after 30 odd years of local body reforms. Is there a need for local bodies reforms 2.0? Okay, so local bodies reform 2.0 could carry could have following features, the features that we are discussing right now. What type of reforms do we need? Now, these, however, are only illustrative additional functions. So second ARC said this is the illustrative list of functions which could be given to local bodies. All right. So this is there. Now, just give me a minute, bache. Those of you who are having even some problem with the GS paper 2, GS mains paper 2 also, if you are not able to score well, you can join or you can freely access this series as well. This is going to be an updation series only. I'm not going to deal with things in detail because under this course it is being assumed this will be a free YouTube course. So otherwise, just let me tell you, and just give me a minute. Okay, so this is there. Yes, so here we go. So you can utilize these points even for marks enhancement in GS mains paper 2. This is the illustrative list as they said. Now, the action taken report on the recommendations of State Finance Commission must compulsorily be placed in the concerned state legislature within 6 months. So the action taken report, every year, every 5 years, a Union Finance Commission is appointed. Likewise, every 5 years, a State Finance Commission is appointed. The second ARC identified certain problems that State Finance Commissions are not being appointed periodically as mandated by the Constitution 73rd and 74th Amendment Act. That job is not being done properly by the state governments. Number one, the periodicity of the report should be streamlined and it should be synchronized with the term of the State Finance Commission should be synchronized with the term of Union Finance Commission. Okay, so that the process is streamlined. Now, if I were to tell you a bit more about it, a talk is going on. Certain bodies have recommended a permanent Union Finance Commission. Well, that's a different topic. That is a separate topic altogether. We would be discussing about it in detail in some other class. In my polity classes also, I have talked about this kind of a relationship between Union Finance Commission and State Finance Commission, wherein the State Finance Commission chairperson, it should be made a permanent body first of all. Both the finance commissions should be made permanent body. Okay, be it Union Finance Commission or State Finance Commission. Okay, first thing first, it should be a permanent body. Number two, the terms of reference of Union Finance Commission should be decided in consultation with the State Finance Commissions or state governments. Now, the State Finance Commission chairperson should be an ex officio member of a permanent Union Finance Commission. You see, finance is such an important subject. We realize the importance of finance as a subject every year through one or the other bodies, through one or the other incidents. Sometimes it is some cyclone, Biparjoy cyclone, sometimes it is COVID, sometimes it is fledgling GST revenues because of one reason or the other. So temporary finance commission cannot be the solution here. Okay, we need to have a full-time finance commission. So State Finance Commission members or chairperson at least should be the ex officio chairperson of Union Finance Commission. So that will help us save a lot of time and that will help us streamline and synchronize the periodicity of reports of both these bodies. Okay, every year, every 5 years, Union Finance Commission synchronize. Okay, every 5 years, the Union Finance Commission brings out a report which carries some aspects of the local bodies also. But those aspects of the local bodies issues, financial issues as highlighted by the Union Finance Commission are not taken into board, are not taken into consideration because of political composition of State Finance Commission, because of problems inherent in the State Finance Commission's functioning, which I'm going to deal with in a short while from now. Okay, so we are talking about this thing. The action taken report on the recommendations of State Finance Commission must compulsorily be placed in the concerned state. What action, what recommendations of the State Finance Commission have been accepted by the state government? That action taken report should be placed within 6 months of the submission, within 6 months of the submission of the report, with an annual statement on the devolution, with an annual statement on the devolution made by the union government, state government. Okay, so this is but necessary. This is bare minimum that we expect. And now, grants given to the individual local bodies and implementation of other recommendations related to the state budget documents, related to the state government, state finances, should be placed via state budget documents. So this is what second ARC had recommended. Coming to second ARC's recommendation on capacity building. कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग कैसे करी जाए, लोकल बॉडीज की कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग के लिए सेकंड एआरसी ने क्या कहा, राइट? Capacity building efforts in rural and urban local self-governing institutions must attend to both the organization building requirements as also the professional and skills upgradation of individuals associated with these bodies. You know, ज़्यादातर SDM या सिविल जो प्रोविंशियल सिविल सर्विसेज हैं उनके ग्रेड 3 के ऑफिसर्स को यहाँ पे लगा दिया जाता है, राइट? ग्रेड 3, ग्रेड 2, तो relatively junior, they are ill equipped, they are ill trained, they are not so well trained when it comes to local bodies affairs. Local bodies governance is becoming quite complex. You see the downpour monsoon this year in municipal corporations and big cities, Chandigarh included, Gurgaon, or various other parts of India, various cities. So these issues are becoming complex. So we require a trained cadre of civil services, trained cadre of government officials to take care of this, right? To manage the local bodies affairs. Relevant panchayat and municipal legislations, even though 73rd Amendment Act and 74th Amendment Act have been brought about, certain states have not updated their local body legislations. So there is a need to update the local bodies legislations related to the aspects highlighted by second ARC, related to various other aspects that we are discussing here. Skills upgradation of local body officials, right? Then, even though second ARC did not say this, there is a need for Manyuga kind of an program to effectively implement schemes like Amrut Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission, right? So Manyuga, a trained cadre of urban employment guarantee program officials or employees or workers would help in various programs like Swachh Bharat Mission, Amrut Mission or Smart Cities Mission in making the cities clean and green. Now, state government should encourage local bodies to outsource specific functions to public or private agencies. Outsourcing of activities should be backed by development of in-house capacity. Outsourcing of activities like waste treatment, waste segregation or various other such programs like road construction, right? So outsourcing of activities should be encouraged by the state governments, but it should be backed by development of in-house capacity also for monitoring and oversight of the outsourced activities. Like we are dependent on, or we are reliant on what? We are reliant on social audit. So such social audit doing NGOs which do the social audit, they should also be trained by the private agency or by the government agency as to how to monitor and oversight and supervise the work being outsourced. ऐसा नहीं है कि outsourcing कर दी and there is no monitoring. Then it will lead to scams and not so good a governance of the country. Then private sector agency would also not live up to the terms. So likewise, transparent and fair procurement procedures need to be put in place by state government to improve fiscal discipline and probity in local bodies. So second ARC is saying transparent procurement procedure, public purchasing by municipal bodies is increasing, be it for street lights, be it for cleanliness equipment, be it for various machines that are purchased by local bodies. So second ARC even mentioned about Bolivia. In Bolivia, there is a Bolivia Municipal Vigilance Commission. Okay, like we have Lokpal for the central government. We have Lok Ayukta for the state government level. But there is no such ombudsman for the local bodies. So second ARC mentioned about Bolivia Municipal Vigilance Commission. We can learn from this example of Bolivia and have a local bodies vigilance commission, because common man is affected by the corruption at the cutting edge level, at the local bodies level. Be it driving license, we have to pay something. Be it for ration card, we have to pay something. Be it for land title transfer, we have to pay something. So keeping this in mind, second ARC said that we should have something of the nature of a local municipal vigilance commission. Okay, outsourcing of activities should be there, and likewise transparent and fair procurement procedures need to be put in place by the state government. Now, training of elected representatives and personnel should be regarded as a continuing activity. If you remember, a lot of hue and cry was there when Haryana came up with minimum educational qualification. Okay, the need of the hour is not the educational qualification of local body officials. The need of the hour is not this minimum educational qualification. No, need is to train these local body representatives for better handling of local body affairs, for better understanding and appreciation of how the local body works. So expenditure requirement on training may be taken into account by State Finance Commission while making recommendations. Okay, so you all must have heard about Colombia's mayor. There's a city, Colombia, and there's a country also. Okay, in that city, the mayor of Colombian capital city, he recommended that a good country is not one where everybody has got a car. A good country is where poor people and rich people also travel in the same means of transport, via same means of transport. They commute via same means of transport, that is public transport. So a good city is not the one, a developed country is not the one where rich and poor, they all travel by cars, private cars. No, where public transport is adopted by one and all. So such should be the level of understanding of local body affair, officials and elected representatives. So their training should also be taken into account by State Finance Commission, while allocating the funds from the state government consolidated fund to the local bodies. All right. A pool of experts and specialists, engineers, planners, etc. could be maintained by a federation or consortium of local bodies. So here, second ARC had recommended this point after a very good amount of thought being put into it. What they are saying is a pool of experts and specialists. They will charge a hefty amount. So rather than every local body singly hiring these people, we should have a consortium of local bodies hiring them. This common pool could be then accessed by local bodies wherever required for specific tasks, be it for road construction, rail overbridge, canalization, canal system, or be it for electricity, biogas, this an inverter program, the Har Ghar Bijli Yojana, etc. Right? So this should have a common pool of experts, be it a pool of engineers, civil engineers, electrical engineers. Local bodies should have at their disposal such a pool. So that would rationalize the expenditure also and would help local bodies avail of the expertise of such people. So these type of recommendations you can use in your answers. मैंने बताया कि second ARC की ये recommendations, local bodies का ये chapter, GS mains paper 2 and public administration optional paper 2 दोनों के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो ये रिकमेंडेशंस आप पूरी देख सकते हो. ऐसे 30-40 लेक्चर्स और आएंगे 10-15-20 मिनट के. This will be called as value addition lectures, in which I am going to cover anti-defection law, in which I am going to cover election commission, finance commission, CAG, GST council, and the contemporary points related to them. These points will help you, those of you who are writing mains this year, to enhance your knowledge base insofar as static theory is there. That is fine, insofar as you want to value add something into your answers. Now, the second ARC said for accountability and control of local bodies, urban local bodies and rural local bodies, so there should be a separate standing committee of the state legislature. There should be a separate standing committee of the state legislature for local bodies. This committee may function in the manner of a public accounts committee. Okay, so to better keep a watch on the local bodies issue. All right. Finances and auditing of this. This is all the more needed when we know that CAG of India does not audit the accounts of local bodies. CAG of India does not audit the account. Okay, so this is the major lacune. Social audit is there for a few schemes like Manrega, but social audit standards are also not up to the mark. So there is a need for a separate standing committee, and there is a need to strengthen the state audit department. State auditor should be strengthened because a lot of money is being given to the local bodies now. So there is a need to have a strong state auditor along with defining of standards of social audit and a standing committee. This is what second ARC suggested. So we are covering second ARC recommendations. Those of you who do not know, these points could well be added. Okay. Now, what are the lacunae related to, what are the problems related to your State Finance Commission functioning? In points, I'm going to tell you: poor quality of reports, State Finance Commission. Differences in approach of different state finance commissions. So one state finance commission is recommending something else. Another state finance commission is not following upon what was recommended by its predecessor, by its previous finance commission. So there is a disjunct. There is lack of continuity between the reports of one state finance commission and another state finance commission of the same state. पंजाब के स्टेट फाइनेंस कमीशन 11th ने कुछ कहा, लेकिन पंजाब के स्टेट फाइनेंस कमीशन 12th ने जो कहा उसका 11th से कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है. कंप्लीट डिसजंक्ट. Okay, so that is what is problematic. Poor synchronization with the Union Finance Commission. Ab now the Union Finance Commission reforms are equally important, right? Union Finance Commission recommended suggestions are equally important, but there is lack of synchronization between State Finance Commission recommendations and Union Finance Commission recommendations. So in order to have a good synchronicity, this is required. Difference in approaches followed by different State Finance Commissions. So this is there. Now views of State Finance Commission. For ascertaining the views of State Finance Commission in the formulation of national plans or Union Finance Commission recommendations, we have to have a national platform for interaction between various state finance commissions. Okay, so these things are needed. There has to be organic linkage in order for us to have cooperative fiscal federalism, like we have cooperated for GST. But GST Council mein there is a membership of state finance ministers. Likewise, State Finance Commission members should be represented at Union Finance Commission level. All right, simplification and synchronization of accounts format. What did 14th Finance Commission ने भी इस पे कुछ कहा था. 14th Finance Commission said state government should strengthen state finance commissions through timely constitution. There is lack of proper timely constitution of State Finance Commission. There is lack of administrative support. Then there is lack of adequate resources and timely presentation of report. Okay, now what does the State Finance Commission say with respect to local bodies? According to Union Finance Commission serves local body accounts serve two purposes. They are the key to financial accountability. Local body accounts are not being well maintained thanks to the fact that the CAG of India does not audit the accounts of local bodies. Right, that is where the buck stops. Now, they help in realistically, local body accounts help in realistically assessing the requirements of financial resources and trusting the technical guidance and supervision over local bodies. A local body audit to CAG was among the conditionalities drawing performance grants. तो 13th Finance Commission ने कुछ performance grants का component रखा था. वो performance grants जो state governments को तभी दी जाएंगी जब technical guidance or supervision over the local body audit will be given to CAG of India. But this has not been done. Okay, 13th Finance Commission said that some percentage of finances will be given to states and onwards to local bodies only if the technical aspect of the accounts of local bodies is given to the CAG of India. But this wasn't done. At present, CAG is performing this role for 26 states which availed of this thing, but remaining 2-3 states did not do this. Okay, now 14th Finance Commission said continue the technical guidance of CAG for upkeep and maintenance of proper accounts of local bodies. अगर local bodies के accounts को अच्छे से maintain करना है तो continue with the technical guidance of CAG. Simplification of accounts, comprehensive maintenance of accounts of local bodies is needed, right? Recommendations of 14th Finance Commission with respect to local body taxes. Problem with property tax. प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स से अरविंद केजरीवाल सर ने इतना ज्यादा पैसा दिल्ली म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के लिए इकट्ठा किया, राइट? फ्यू स्टेट्स हैव नॉट डेलीगेटेड प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स टू लोकल बॉडीज. These states are collecting property tax themselves and retaining the resources and not passing on the resources to local bodies, which again leads to the finance problem. We have studied about 3 problems, right? So in some states where it has been delegated, rules are not framed. Inadequacy of database on properties. Now, thanks to programs like e-Patwari, right, e-tracking of properties, electronic tracking, GPS tracking of properties, this problem will be taken care of. There is weak political will. I was telling you about chapter 4 of 2018 economic survey, wherein this point has been highlighted, that middle class of local bodies, local jurisdiction, they are not inclined to pay taxes because there is an opt-out. Middle class is opting out of common services. If you ask them that we would provide you good water quality, they say that we have Kent purifier. If you ask them that we will provide you good quality roads, they say that we have private cars. We don't want public transport. If you tell them there will be 24/7 electricity, they are not ready to pay higher tariff for 24/7 electricity because they already have inverter facility at their house, right? So this type of problems are there. Corruption, and because of corruption, there is lack of trust in the public on the elected representatives also. Local body elected representatives are considered to be corrupt. Patwari, Sarpanch, etc. Bureaucracy and elected representatives, they are all considered, BDO, VDO, they are all considered to be corrupt. So that is why property tax is not being collected properly. Property tax rates are not revised periodically. Several exemptions are given. Several states levy property tax on annual rental value basis, though they should be levying the tax on the actual real value or average real value of the property, but they are levying the tax on rental value. Well, rental value is quite less than the true potential of the property. Okay, rental value is not that much in India, thanks to Rent Control Act, etc. This is what is diminishing the prospects of collection of revenue at the local bodies level. Local bodies could have collected or could collect very good amount of revenue thanks to property tax as a source of revenue, but they are not able to. Okay, so after studying these problems with regard to property tax, what did 14th Finance Commission say? 14th Finance Commission recommendations: fast track property tax reforms. 14th Finance Commission said that we need to fast track property tax reforms. Okay, so now this is there. Then regular revision of rates, regular revision of bache, this is updation batch material. Okay, for detailed study we don't have time. There are some people who are going to write mains this year. If you are attending my PubEd classes, complete public administration classes, then you would get to know as to what we are going to teach. Okay, just because it is a Word doc, I believe in sharing the knowledge. The idea is that you can update your notes with these type of points which I have collated from 2nd ARC and 14th Finance Commission, and these are a rehash of my own notes. Don't worry about them. When it comes to regular classes, our regular classes are going to start from 24th of July 2023. This will be a complete 5 to 6 months course of public administration in which I am going to teach you each and every recommendation. If you have joined late, that is your fault. These classes will be 30 to 35 classes in which I'll be just telling you these points. Explanation of these points has been taken care of in our classes. These value addition classes are going to be relevant for GS Mains Paper 2 students and Public Administration, Indian Administration Paper 2 optional subject. Okay, these things are there. Now, corruption, property tax rates are not revised periodically. Several exemptions are given. If you ask me about exemptions in detail, they are talking about the square feet area of the property, if the length of the property is not more than this, or if this is an agricultural land, it will be exempt. Okay, so those exemptions are not actually yielding some revenue for the local bodies. Now, fast track property tax reforms, regular revision of rates should be there. There should be minimal exemptions. Plinth area, in addition to the criteria, in addition to the other criteria, जैसे कि plinth area property का कितना है, उस पे यूनिवर्सल बेसिस पे टैक्स लगना चाहिए, प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स, उसमें कोई एग्जेम्पशंस नहीं होनी चाहिए. क्लियर? Now, vacant land tax. What if some piece of land, what if a plot of land worth 20 crore rupees in Delhi, if it is lying vacant? Should the municipal body not levying tax on it? They should be levying tax on it. Okay. तो इसी तरह की चीजें हैं. तो ये सारी चीजें हम अपने पबेट के बैच में कवर करते हैं, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बैच, which is going to start from 24th of July. This was one of the sessions for our existing students जो लोग अभी इस बार मेंस देने जा रहे हैं या जो पेपर 2 के लिए भी इन नोट्स का फायदा लेना चाहते हैं वो ले सकते हैं. Next class will happen tomorrow or day after. I will again be presenting some things related to local bodies. Why local bodies as a topic is important for this year mains? Because we have completed 30 years of local body reforms. 1992, 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act were brought about. Now is the year that we have completed 30 complete years, 31st year we are in. Last year they did not ask many questions. This is the time that they could ask. This is my prediction. Maybe or may not be, it will turn out to be true. Okay, if it turns out to be true, I am sharing the material with you. Okay, common property assets, resources, municipal bonds, etc. And then civil services as a topic. Civil services as a topic or some other topic we will be picking up tomorrow for another half an hour. I will complete all the units of Indian administration in next 30 to 35 classes. Okay, so we will be studying the Indian Journal of Public Administration, some editorials, some articles on Indian administration, Office of District Collector, Office of Police Commissioner, Commissionerate System of Police, or political funding, political reforms, electoral reforms. All these themes will be covered for the Public Administration Paper 2 and GS Mains Paper 2. With that, I end this class of today. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.